A lot of people don't fail at real estate because they can't find deals. They actually fail because they think that money is the problem, or that's what's really kind of holding them up. And in this video, I'm breaking down 3 realistic ways to get financing for your first real estate deal, even if you don't have perfect credit, tons of cash, or years and years of experience. And be sure to stay until the very end, because the third option that I'm going to talk about is how many investors get started faster than they ever thought was even possible. So when I bought my very first deal, I didn't walk into a bank with a stack full of cash and a track record of a bunch of other deals that I had done in the past. What I definitely had, though, when I did my first deal, was a solid deal. You need to have a really good deal, not a bad deal. I had a willingness to learn. I really wanted to learn and had been researching and studying a lot, and the understanding that money follows good opportunities. That's what I had going on. And once I stopped kind of asking myself, like, how do I get the money? And I started asking, how do I structure the deal? That's when everything really changed. So understand this: if financing feels like the biggest roadblock to you right now, this video, we're going to fix that. All right, so let's talk about way number 1, and that is traditional financing. So you can use things like house hacking, owner financing, occupied loans, that sort of thing. This is one of the most beginner-friendly ways to get started. So those types of loans I'm referring to are FHA loans, VA loans if you're a veteran or qualify for VA loans, and conventional owner occupied loans. These are basically like traditional loans, like if you're buying a house to live in. And what these loans will do, especially FHA and VA, they'll allow you to put less money down. You're typically going to get a lot better interest rates than you will on some of the other type of loans and things we're going to talk about. And you actually live in the property while building equity. Now, this is going to work especially well, these types of loans, if you're going to do stuff like buying a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex, or if you're going to buy a property, live in it for a year or so, and then move out and rent the property out. Now, this is how many investors will quietly build their first rental property portfolio out. They'll buy that first property using this method. And so, quick pause, by the way, if this is helpful, make sure you subscribe, because I break down real world investing strategies like this every single week. And also, I put together a free Burr Mastery guide, and this guide is packed full of valuable information. It shows you how to make sure that you're buying the right deal. It shows you how to go about forcing appreciation on your properties that you're acquiring. It basically helps you to understand how to recycle your capital into the next deal so that you can do that over and over and over again. So the guide is linked below in the description, so make sure you check it out. Grab it right now, because that guide actually ties in really, really well to the financing strategies that we're talking about today. All right, let's keep things rolling. So way number 2 I'm going to talk about is hard money and private money. Now, this is where things start to open up. Hard money and private money lenders really are looking at a lot of different types of things than a traditional lender. So number 1, they care about the deal. Number 2, they care about the numbers. And number 3, they care about the exit strategy. Those are the 3 big things they're looking at. They're not looking so much at your W-2, or not so focused on credit score or whatever your job title is that you have. You could be an entrepreneur, and these loans are not as complicated or difficult to get. These loans are faster. They end up being a lot of times much more flexible, and they're designed. They're short term by design. That's kind of the way that they're designed. And we often use these types of loans for fix and flip properties, when you're doing Burr deals, like I said, that I talked about, the free guide, check it out. Or if you're doing like value adds to your rentals, that sort of thing. The key to these types of loans is understanding how you're getting out of the loan before you get into the loan. Very important to have a good exit strategy. And the third way is creative financing. Now, this is probably the most overlooked. This is a strategy that most of the beginners out there don't even realize is an opportunity. They don't even realize it exists. Some examples of this are seller financing or owner financing. Those are used interchangeably. Subject to deals, partnerships, or when you do certain types of equity, creative equity splits, that sort of thing. And instead of borrowing money from a bank, you structure the deal so that the deal itself actually becomes the financing, which is pretty amazing. Now, when you're putting these deals together, it requires communication. There's got to be some problem solving that's going on, and you got to have confidence when you're talking about it. You got to know what you're doing. But when done right, it can eliminate many of the traditional barriers that new investors are kind of running into when they first get started. So here's the truth. There's no best financing method. That doesn't really exist. There's only the best method for whatever particular deal that you're working on or in your whatever your personal situation is. So a couple things that you can ask yourself is, how fast do I need to close? How long do I plan to hold the property? And what exactly is my exit strategies? I like to have multiple exit strategies, by the way. So financing should support the deal. It shouldn't be what has to control the deal. And if you want step-by-step guidance on funding deals, analyzing numbers, and building confidence as a brand new investor, I walk through everything inside my course on real estate investing. I'm actually offering this course for the first time for absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's built specifically for beginners who want clear frameworks, real examples, and a roadmap from zero to their very first deal. I've put that link in the description below for you, so be sure to check it out. Remember, successful investors don't wait for perfect conditions. They learn how to structure opportunities, and financing is just one more tool that you can put into your toolkit. As always, I appreciate you watching this video today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.